The USB files screen on the Criterion NDT ST-11 and ST-11R units is not available until you actually plug a USB stick in. And once you do, it jumps directly to this screen. If you're on a different screen other than the main menu, you'll be asked if you would like to switch screens to the USB screen. The USB stick I just inserted, in this case Engineering 02, has just received a new folder structure by going to the USB files screen. In that folder structure is Data, Diagnostics, and Packages. And within the Data folder is Configs, Logs, and Screen Captures. Let me show you how we use a few of those folders. The Software Packages tab, Config Files tab, and Screen Captures tab all are related to the folders on the USB stick, and the contents of those folders will show up down here in the bottom window. The top window is reserved for the ST-11R stuff. The config files on the ST-11R are shown here in this window. And if I copy one of those config files down into the USB and then switch over to my USB screen, here you can see the config files folder, and within that is internal static 2. Back to the UI. My screen captures tab doesn't show anything because I haven't taken any screen captures when I've had this unit booted up. Right now, I'm going to change that. Screen capture 1, this screen allows you to name your file. It tells you what it did, and now it shows up in the ST-11 part. And if I copy it down to the USB, now I switch over to Windows Explorer, and then I migrate out to the screen captures. I now have a screen capture image and the config file as it was when that screen was captured. Opening that image shows the picture that I was just looking at. The Software Packages tab works much the same way. The top portion shows that the software is currently installed on the ST-11, and the bottom portion shows the software packages which are on the USB stick available for install to the ST-11. The Get Manuals and Apps button does just that. It gets the manuals and apps, and it copies them to your USB stick. The one that's selected down here by being highlighted in black, you can have two USB sticks that'll show up in this software, and you can switch back and forth between the two without actually ejecting either one of them. In the Windows Explorer, if I back up a few levels to the root of the USB stick, I'll see there's a new folder that's been added, Criterion NDT ST-11 Manuals and Apps, and it is just that. There are two additional manuals. This is the main manual that I've referenced a few times in this video. This is a remote controlling manual, which gives some additional details about remote control that are not included in the main manual. The ST-11 remote controller is an app that allows controlling the ST-11 through Ethernet. In this case, I can connect to it, and if I go back to my UI, I can see that it has automatically switched to the test review screen, and the little lock icon over here has an R in the middle of it. That lets you know that it is being remotely controlled. There are a lot of things that you can't do on this screen at this time because it's being remotely controlled, very much on purpose. If you would like to send the remote controller a request, you can hold that down, and it sends a request to the remote controller to ask if it's okay if a user operates the unit. In that case, you can switch back over to the remote controller, you can hit Enable Touch, and that will allow you to get control of some of these features that have been out of your control for just a moment there. All of that kind of stuff is explained in the manual. Back to the USB file screen. The Get Diagnostics Output button sends a diagnostic dump to the USB stick. It is in the form of a zip file that you can email to us if you have any problems with your unit and want us to help you diagnose it. On the USB stick, that diagnostics file ends up in the ST-11 Diagnostics folder, and there it is right there. Within the zip file, the folder structure exists again. That's the way we can copy it onto our equipment really fast, and there we get all the configs, all the logs, and all the screen captures that are available. And of course, don't forget to eject your USB stick. It's just good practice. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great rest of your day.